Welcome back to the Dunn County Fair. I'm Brian Winnekins from WRDN Radio as we are just moments away from this afternoon's Dunn County Fair Beef Show. And hope you enjoyed the coverage of the hog show today. And we have 27 classes of beef today. And things will be getting underway here in just a couple minutes. And then after, once we're done with the classes, then we'll be stepping away before showmanship like we've done. And we will be then back tomorrow afternoon at 4:55 for the livestock auction here from the Dunn County Fair. So we're back in the cattle barn, and we'll have our beef show here coming up in just a couple minutes. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Can have this one.
Again, welcome back to the Dunn County Fair, just moments away from this afternoon's beef show. 27 classes of beef this afternoon. Things will be starting here in just a couple minutes. I'd like to welcome those of you watching this afternoon. Also, those of you watching on our Facebook page at WRDN 1430 AM stereo and 107.3 FM as well. Let us know where you're watching from. Always enjoy, we had a lot of nice folks joining us during the hog show. We had Michigan checking in, Utah, Tennessee, Milwaukee, folks from Rock Falls as well. So wherever you're watching us from, let us know in the comments section on our Facebook page. And thank you to our sponsors as well, including Shannon Crop Services here in Menominee, your Pip Seeds dealer. They also provide farmers with crop insurance. Talk with Bristol and Al from Shannon Crop Services. Also, Sunny Skies CBD of Durand. Visit Sunny Skies CBD, their website, to find out about all of the CBD products, not only for yourself and your family, but even your pets too, from Sunny Skies CBD of Durand. Also, Wisconsin Credit Union, serving members for over 80 years. Visit them online at wisconsincu.org. And Chippewa Valley Energy, supporting the youth of the Chippewa Valley and supporting the Chippewa Valley since 1922. Find out more at ChippewaValleyEnergy.com. Again, please thank all of our sponsors. They make our videos possible. Give them a call, drop them an email, visit their business, and tell them thank you for supporting our video streams from the Dunn County Fair. And again, those of you watching on our Facebook page today at WRDN 1430 AM stereo and 107.3 FM, let us know in the comments section where you're watching us from today.
I'd like to welcome you all to the fair. This year we have Brent Worth. He was the judge last year. So we'd like to welcome him back. He is from New Richmond. He has heavy roots in the Hereford breed, and we will turn it over to get the first class started with the Angus.
And we are ready with class number 1 underway.
Entering the ring for our first class is John Reeby, showing his junior heifer calf.
First off, I'd like to thank Dunn County for inviting me back here again. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to work with your cattle and even more so with your kids. Last year was an enjoyable experience, and I mean the kids were great, and again I expect the same. What a great way to start off our show here with this March heifer calf. Extremely high weight per day of age on this rascal. Extremely long body. Certainly appreciate the depth of body and the rib that this one has. The extension through the front 1/3 of this and make her a feminine appearing in that aspect, and then even more so when you put her on the move, you certainly see she flexes and bends at her knee and her hocks and her pasterns extremely well. Very good calf to start our show with here. Congratulations, young man.
Next in the ring is Caden Tiffany with a senior heifer Angus calf.
Watching coverage of the Dunn County Beef Show this afternoon in class number 2, 27 classes today.
Another single entry here in our Angus show, and a young man brings us a September Angus calf, and she's giving him the business here a little bit, but I think she's got some extra hormones going on today that's causing that issue. But you certainly have to appreciate just the length of side in this one, just long-bodied, long and extended in her front 1/3, very feminine. And again, I talk about, we're going to talk about legs and feet here pretty much all day on these cattle. And this one, again, got the right angles. She's got good in her pasterns. She's got her knee set back into her, which lines up into a good angle of her shoulder. If I could change this one just a little bit. She gets a little high up in her loin, and I think that's just because that her loin is a little extra big, just because she is carrying a tremendous amount of muscle in this one. Congratulations, young man.
Congratulations, Caden Tiffany. Next in are the senior yearling heifers for Angus. Showing is Margot Moses and Miriam Moses.
Watching coverage of the Dunn County Beef Show. I'm Brian Winnikins from WRDN. Hope you're enjoying coverage this afternoon. Thank you to our sponsors, including Provisions Health of Duran, changing the way you experience healthcare. Find out more at provisions.health. Also, 24/7 and West Wisconsin Telcom. Building smart fiber optic communities from the ground up. Find out more. Visit www.coop. Pierce Pep and Cooperative Services, your Touchstone Energy partner. And Numbers Are Us. Common Sense Bookkeeping and more. They're a certified QuickBooks Pro Advisor and Daily Money Manager. Visit them online at numbersrus.com. Please thank all of our sponsors. Without the support of these businesses and organizations, wouldn't be able to bring you today's Beef Show. So please give our businesses a call, visit the business, or send them an email and tell them thank you for supporting our video streams from the Dunn County Fair. And those of you watching our coverage on our Facebook page at WRDN 1430 AM stereo and 107.3 FM, let us know in the comments section where you're listening from today on this beautiful Friday. Hello to folks out in Prairie Farm. During the Hog Show, we had folks from Salt Lake City, Utah, and Nashville, Tennessee, Milwaukee, Rock Falls, even Florida. And I was watching our dairy show yesterday. So let us know in the comments section where you're watching this afternoon. We have 27 classes today. We're in class number 3. Difference between today and yesterday is we have that nice fence in front of us. During the dairy show, there was a couple of times yesterday I almost had heifers right in my lap.
We have a few more being printed, so just come back up. Who's there on the stand? No, I just gotcha. She just has her steers, right? So it'll be completely after the breeding heifer class. So she starts with her Jersey steer, and then the next class after that will be bigger.
Okay.
You've got some time, probably an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you
No
so
problem.
much, guys.
Extremely close placing on our yearling heifers here in our Angus division. And, if you guys want to flip them, you can go ahead. They're that close to me. I'm going to use the heifer that's just a little bit longer sided, a little bit longer and extended and more feminine to her front. Her head comes out of her shoulder just a little bit higher than our second place heifer. And I think the difference for me is you get around on this 3/4 view here, and there's just so much more shape and power in the heifer that wins the class over our second place heifer. you know, our second place heifer, he's certainly no slouch here by any means. She is a little bit smoother in appearance. She ties into her forerib a little better into her shoulder than our class winner. But again, with that extra power and dimension of our first place heifer, I think we have to give the advantage to that one. Congratulations to these two young ladies.
Congratulations, Margot Moses, on her class-winning senior yearling heifer.
I see an open chair.
So we're doing the champion and reserve Angus female at the moment.
Next up is the champion and reserve Angus female. In the ring is John Reeby with his junior heifer calf, Caden Tiffany with his senior heifer calf, and Margot Moses with her senior yearling heifer.
I think a nice way to start our show here in our Angus division, you certainly, as we get these three back, just how functional these three are, and that's a attribute to the Angus breed. They're just so good in their doability and their conversion, and they give you some look and some muscle, and they're just good cattle. And congratulations to these three exhibitors. For me, young man, I really do like that March heifer. She's got a whale of a future in front of her. You certainly appreciate the look she gives you, the weight per day of age that she has, and just how nice she is. And same with you with the fall calf. A very functional individual. You'll be able to have a lot of fun breeding her a lot of different ways. Just how good at they are in their feet and legs and their angles that they have. But for me today, I'm going to use the young lady's red heifer for your champion in this division. Congratulations. And as close as that placing was in that class, we're going to keep those two red heifers together for your reserve champion. This young lady with the red heifer. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Margot Moses for her champion Angus female. And congratulations to Miriam Moses on her reserve Angus female.
Coming up next, we're waiting here for the next class to be introduced.
Next up is the Charlet class. Summer yearling heifers shown by Addison Goldsmith and Gabriella Wantock.
Watching coverage of the Dunn County Fair Beef Show today. I'm Brian Winnikins. from WRDN. And again, welcome back to the Dunn County Fair. Hope you're enjoying coverage of the beef show today. We have 27 classes. We're in class number 4 at the moment. Those of you watching our coverage on our Facebook page at WRDN 1430 AM stereo and 107.3 FM, let us know in the comments section where you're watching from this afternoon. Curious to find out where folks are watching us from. During the Hog Show, we had folks from Michigan and Tennessee and Utah, to name a few. We've had Florida as well during the Dairy Show. So let us know in the comments section where you're watching us from this afternoon. In the Charlet class, did you know cattle were introduced in the United States back in the early 1500s, coming from Mexico through Texas and California? The English would later bring a large number of cattle when they founded the Jamestown colony. A little beef trivia there for you.
As we get into our Charlet division here, a nice pair of heifers to start off. For me, the heifer that's the longer sided, more elegant appearing heifer, you'd certainly have to appreciate just the extension she has from end to end, just her femininity in her front 1/3, and just how good she is in her lines and in her feet and legs, and as you put her on the move. She might be a little big in her navel, and we'd like to clean that up. It throws her balance off just ever so slightly, but that's just a kind of a cosmetic thing, and you certainly have to just appreciate the quality that this one has. The heifer in second, again, just no slouch here. She's a more massive heifer. She's a bigger topped heifer. She's a square in her hip, but for me, she just doesn't balance up quite as nice. She's not nearly as elegant or as smooth in that front 1/3 as she attaches into her forerib through that shoulder. You'd like to just love her out from her hooks to her pins, but a very functional, very sound individual in her own right. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Gabriella Wantok, on her winning that class for the summer yearling heifer.
Thank you to our sponsors as well, including O'Galley Cheese Factory. Visit O'Galley Cheese for all of your snacking needs. O'Galley Cheese, Highway
Next
25,
in the ring is
Durand.
our Charlet cow-calf pair, shown by Addison Goldsmith.
Also, Bluff Country Feed and Seed, your Dairyland seed dealer, and featuring feed for your livestock. They also have a new feed mill at Bluff Country Feed and Seed. Visit them in Mondovi or find them online at bluffcountryfs.com for more information. Also, Compeer Financial, a member-owned farm credit cooperative service supporting agriculture and rural communities. Visit compeer.com. And Synergy Co-op. Synergy Co-op, your local LS tractor dealer. Visit synergycoop.com for more information. Please thank all of our video sponsors as well for their support of our video streams from the Dunn County Fair. Give our sponsors a call or visit their website, send them an email, or visit their business, even better yet, and tell them thank you for supporting these video streams. Without their help, we would not be able to bring you the video streaming coverage from the Dunn County Fair. So please thank all of our business sponsors.
We got a 2-year-old cow here. You certainly have to, as you stand from my angle here, just how balanced she is, just how good looking she is from the side. Again, how elegant in her front 1/3, how that ties back into her shoulder, into that forerib, big sweeping center body on this one. And again, my hat's off to all the exhibitors here so far on the cattle I've seen. They're all good in their feet and their legs, and they're all moving really, really well. You certainly have to appreciate just the soundness of these cattle as they're coming into the ring. These two young ladies brought out our other Charolais just a moment ago, and this will complete our Charolais show. I'm going to go ahead and use the cow-calf as your champion Charolais female in today's show, and then automatically the class winner from the last one will be reserved. So congratulations, you two young ladies, for bringing out outstanding Charolais cattle here today.
Congratulations to Addison Goldsmith with her champion Charolais female, and to Gabriella Wantock with her reserve Charolais.
Herefords now will be coming up next on the class number 6, Hereford Junior Calf, Heifer Calf. We have 2 entries in that class. Those of you watching our livestock coverage today on our Facebook page at WRDN 1430 AM stereo and 107.3 FM, let us know in the comment section where you're at, where you're listening to, or watching. Let us know where you're watching us from in the comment section.
Next up is our Hereford division. In the ring is Aaliyah Call and Allison Bartlett, showing their Hereford Junior Heifer calves.
Watching coverage of the Dunn County Beef Show this afternoon. I'm Brian Winnekins. Hope you're enjoying coverage today. Hope you enjoyed the hog show from earlier today. That'll be on our YouTube channel at Drain Broadcasting WRDN. That should be propagating to the channel later on this afternoon. If you missed the hog show, you'll be able to watch it later on. And it looks like we have our decisions.
What a great way to start our Hereford show. Phenomenal pair of calves here, both February's certainly, again, have to appreciate the feet and legs on both of them. Just the look that they both give you from the side, just how balanced they are, and just how structurally correct they are. The calf I'm going to start with, sure, she's a little bit more moderate, but I think if you get up on this one, there's just a little bit more to her. She's got more shape down and through her top, more shape in her middle 1/3, her lower 1/3 as well, and then more power into that hip. You certainly have to appreciate that about her. The heifer in second just gets a little bit flatter. She is longer sided, she is bigger frame, big outline, but as you watch her go, that her head comes out of her neck, or excuse me, her neck comes out of her shoulders ever so slightly lower. I'm not, the two really good Hereford heifer calves to start our Hereford show here.
Congratulations, Allison Bartlett, on her class-winning junior heifer calf. In the ring now is Kinsey Singerhouse with her junior yearling heifer.
Watching coverage of the Dunn County Beef Show. Thank you to Dunn Energy, your Touchstone Energy partner, and Tech, your premier communications and entertainment provider, Durand, and Adams Super Service, your Napa Gold Car Care Center, Durand. Just a few of the businesses sponsoring our video streams. Please thank all of our sponsors. Give them a call, drop them an email, visit their business, tell them thank you for supporting these video streams. Without their help, we would not be here at the Dunn County Fair today with the Beef Show, so please thank all of our sponsors. We're in class number 7 at the moment.
Young lady brings us a powerhouse of the Hereford heifer here. I mean, you get up on this one and you look down her back. She certainly is wide and bold, all the way from behind her shoulder, through her hip, down into her rump, down to her lower quarter. You certainly have to appreciate that. Heifer, you just got to like her balance and the look she gives you from the side. I mean, if we're going to start knocking on her a little bit, maybe clean up that brisket a little bit. To give her a little bit more eye appeal in that front 1/3, but a very sound, functional, powerful heifer for this young lady. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Kinsey Singerhouse.
Watching coverage of the Dunn County Fair Beef Show this afternoon.
In the ring now is Evan Bartlett with his senior yearling heifer.
another single entry here in our Hereford division, and certainly no slouch in her own right. We'll start at the ground here again, and you certainly have to appreciate the angle of her foot, and it goes up into her hocks, and how she bends them as she put her on the move, and she moves around the ring with ease and freeness. You certainly, when you get her on the side, just how extended she is up front and how that ties into her shoulder and how that shoulder moves into her forerib and how she explodes from there, especially in her middle rib into her lower rib. And she certainly is square enough and stout enough when you get her from behind. Congratulations, young man, and outstanding Hereford.
Congratulations, Evan Bartlett, on his senior yearling heifer. Next in the ring, we'll have all the first place animals back in for their Hereford champion round. Junior heifer calf champion exhibited by Allison Bartlett. Junior yearling heifer champion exhibited by Kinsey Singerhouse. And senior yearling heifer champion exhibited by Evan Bartlett.
Four really nice Hereford heifers out here in the ring. Folks, high quality that certainly could stand more competition regionally and nationally, in my opinion. They certainly are the right kind. Young lady with the calf on the end, certainly a lot of potential in this calf. And again, she's really, really nice in her own right, but she's got a lot of future ahead of her, and she's going to hang some banners down the road. Young ladies, junior yearling heifer here in the middle, again, high quality, just stout kind of a individual here. You certainly appreciate just how smooth she is and how muscular she is all at the same time. Again, we talked about, cleaning up her brisket ever so slightly, and as we get her out here in this final drive, we'd like to maintain her, clean that up in that brisket and along up into her neck, into her jowl, just to make her just a bit more attractive. And there again, as we put her on the move, that she, as massive as she is, she gets outside of herself on her fronts as we watch her coming towards you. Just an ever so slightly kind of a deal, but when we're talking about high quality cattle on each side of her, we got to get a little bit nitpicky with the high quality ones to get them sorted. Young man, senior yearling heifer here, just outstanding kind of cattle right there, and you certainly appreciate that. And I invited the young lady's second place calf to come out too. She's as good as they come too. A lot of future in that one too, young lady. Be proud of that one. She's really nice as well. But for me today, I'm going to use the young man, senior yearling, as your champion. Young lady with the junior, I'm going to use you for reserve. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Evan Bartlett, on his champion Hereford. Reserve is Kinsey Singerhouse.
Thank you to our sponsors this afternoon, Elsivia Co-op,
Next up is our limousine entry. John Reeby is showing a summer yearling heifer.
Again, thank you to Alcivia Co-op, a leading member-owned agriculture fuel cooperative serving Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois as well. Visit alcivia.com for more information. SFB, Security Financial Bank, Durand, River Falls, Eau Claire, Ladysmith, Bloomer, and Black River Falls. Visit them online at sfbank.com. Prime Realty of Durand. Visit their website at primerealitymidwest.com. Prime Realty, they are the area's #1 home seller. Please thank all of our sponsors. They make our video streams possible this afternoon. Drop our sponsors an email, give them a phone call, visit their business. Tell them thank you for supporting these video streams. Again, without their help and their sponsorship, we wouldn't be here today. So please thank all of our sponsors. Welcome those watching over in Ridgeland this afternoon again on our Facebook page. Let us know where you're at in the comments of our Facebook page this afternoon. Ridgeland, I hope you folks got some nice rain last night, but not all the severe weather that was happening. Beautiful day here at the fair.
Just a single entry here in our limousine show, and then congratulations to this young man on your champion Limmy heifer. Folks, this is just good cattle right here. She balances up so well. She's so attractive in her front 1/3, and again, as she's proportional and she's sound and she's correct, and she just has that look to her that you really have to appreciate the quality and the functionality of this cattle, of this heifer. You know, maybe to foreshadow a little bit of your Supreme Drive, I'm just going through my head of what cattle I've seen already, and it's a disadvantage that she doesn't have any other limousine to compete against her, but it's going to get pretty salty out here in this Supreme Drive, folks. Hang on to your hats. Congratulations, young man. We'll see you back out here with her in just a little bit.
Congratulations, John Reeby, champion limousine female. Next in the ring is John Reeby with his Shorthorn Junior heifer calf.
Your home for farm news and markets throughout the entire day is WRDN Radio. We have 7 hours of farm programming Monday through Friday each day. It starts off with the WRDN Morning Farm Report from 5 to 7 a.m. Farm news, farm markets, America's Dairy Line with Bill Baker, Farm Progress America with Mike Pearson, and some great classic country music too. Hourly market reports, 9, 10, 11 o'clock hours. We have our noon show at about 12:30 as well, with farm markets, farm news, ag weather as well. Chip Flory with Agri-Talk from 1 until 3, news and issues of agriculture, along with the news and issues affecting the markets as well. That from 1 to 3, and then from 3 to 4, it's America on Agriculture, more news and issues affecting rural America. We wrap the day up with Susan Littlefield at 4:30 and the Fontenelle Final Bell, where Susan talks with market analysts from across the country on the grain, livestock, and dairy markets. You can listen to our farm programming on air at 1430 AM stereo and 107.3 FM WRDN, and also on our websites at realcountry1430.com. We're also on Alexa, Google Home.
We're combining two classes here, so we have the Shorthorn Junior heifer calf, shown by John Reeby. Actually, on the halter is Addison Bartlett, and the Shorthorn Junior yearling heifer, also shown by John Reeby.
Again, we're small on numbers but high on quality, and another example of that is right in front of us here. Both class winners in their own right, but here for the overall shorthorn female. I'm going to go ahead and use the young man's junior yearling heifer in comparison to his calf here. I certainly just appreciate this, the balance and the look she gives it from the side. And then as she transfers from that shoulder into that forerib, she explodes into a massive center body of her body as you get around a lot of shape from the side as you look at her. Maybe not necessarily as much as the lower 1/3 is that sweeping rib on her, but you know, she's got time to build that into herself. The calf here is certainly, when you get her standing still on the profile, you certainly appreciate the look and the extension and just how beautiful she is from the side. You know, for me, I'd like to just, you know, love her out from her hooks to her pins, and as we put her on the move, just give her more flex and cushion as she steps down on the rear pasterns as she wants to go out in the ring for us here today. But congratulations on a nice pair of shorthorn heifers.
Congratulations, John Reeby, on his both champion and reserve champion shorthorn female. Next up is our Simmental class. First in is Caden Tiffany with his junior yearling heifer. And we're combining them too. So Kaylee Tiffany is showing her senior yearling heifer.
Watching continuing coverage of the Dunn County Fair Beef Show. Did you know rangelands cover about 26% of land here in America? That's about 587 million acres. Too arid and mountainous to be suitable for cultivation, but can sustain grazing domesticated animals when well managed. Of course, producers are allowed to use public lands for grazing and work with the U.S. Forest Service or the Bureau of Land Management on the grazing. You're listening for local news 4 times a day, 7, 8, noon, and 4 on WRDN. Monday through Friday. We also have the local news at the same time on our streaming audio as well. You can listen to us anytime at our website at realcountry1430.com. We're also on, we have an Alexa skill, Google Home, Apple CarPlay, Roku TV as well. If you have the Live 365 app on your Roku TV, you can listen to us through your smart TV as well. 27 classes in total today. Those of you watching on our Facebook page, invite you to tell us where you're at in the comment section. It's always fun to find out where folks are at watching the show today. Earlier today we had Utah and Tennessee, Milwaukee area. Also had Florida during the dairy show yesterday as well. So let us know in the comment section. Putting both of these together as basically because of the champion and reserve Simmental. They're doing that right now as well. When you listen to us online, you're listening to an AM radio. When you listen to our audio stream at our website and on your Alexa, it's how AM radio can sound as we broadcast in AM stereo. Your new car radio can get AM stereo, but the car companies don't want to put in a couple extra lines of computer code into the receiver. Tell the car companies, hey, if we're going to pay $70,000 for a vehicle, give us some decent receivers. Want to hear what AM radio can really sound like? Visit us online at realcountry1430.com.
Folks, I apologize for taking a little extra time on this division. Again, 2 single entries, your junior yearling and a senior yearling heifer, and high quality. We're splitting hairs between the 2 of them here. As I describe them here, the young man's junior yearling heifer, super attractive from the side, and you certainly appreciate just the look she gives you, just how bold she is in her rib, and how stout she is from behind. And again, when you put her in motion, she moves around the ring with so much ease and effortlessness. You certainly appreciate the length of spine she has, and just the quality that this one has. The young lady with the senior yearling, again, just dynamic in their front 1/3. You certainly appreciate the freshness that the senior yearling has, just the overall capacity and the muscle, and just the soundness again as they move around the ring. Both high quality cattle, folks. Again, these 2 are outstanding, and again, they could probably go a lot of miles and compete at a high level across the country. I'm going to go ahead and use this young lady's senior yearling as your champion. Young man, you're going to be reserved. Congratulations to you both.
Congratulations, Kaylee Tiffany, on her champion Simmental female, and Caden Tiffany has reserve.
So we continue on now. Crossbred junior heifer calf.
Next up is our crossbred class of junior heifer calves. In the ring, we will have Ray Pember, Cameron Nelson, Addison Goldsmith, Connor Albright, Tyler Albright, Jacob Albright, Kobe Steyer, Connor Steyer, and Parker Jacobs.
Got a bigger class this time. Be a lot of traffic in the ring in this class. Thank you to Synergy Co-op, your local LS tractor dealer. Visit them online at synergycoop.com. Compeer Financial, a member-owned farm credit cooperative serving and supporting agriculture and rural communities. Visit them online at compeer.com. Bluff Country Feed and Seed, your Dairyland Seed dealer. They also have a new feed mill as well at Bluff Country Feed and Seed in Mondovi. Visit them online at bluffcountryfs.com for more information. O'Galley Cheese Factory, O'Galley Cheese for all of your snacking needs, featuring cheese, locally made beef sticks, sausages, and more. That's O'Galley Cheese Factory, Highway 25, Durand, opens 7 days a week. Please thank all of our sponsors. They make our video streams possible. Send our sponsors an email or give them a phone call or visit their business and tell them thank you for supporting these broadcasts.
And as our judge Brent is sorting this larger class of junior crossbred heifers, we're going to say a few thank yous around the ring here today. So first and foremost, our new 2023 Beef Superintendent, Del Kais. We want to give you a thank you for all the work you've done this year leading up to the time in the show ring. So if we could have a round of applause for Del. Along with his beef assistant, Jennifer Dressel. Behind the scenes, here at the table with me today, we have Kenzie Pearson recording results and Cheryl Kais on the mic helping to announce classes. And we also have a few ribbon help here today, one of which being Allison Bartlett, who is also our Wisconsin Junior Hereford Association Princess this year. Another thank you going out to WRDN for covering the beef show here today, along with all other meat animal species that have shown the last 2 days. And again, one more thank you to our judge, Mr. Brentworth.
Did you know that humans have been selectively breeding cattle for desirable traits since they were first domesticated around 10,000 years ago? Some traits selected: hardiness, temperament, and appearance. Most modern cattle breeds have been specialized to efficiently produce either milk or meat, but not both, one or the other. Looks like we're down to our last 3 here in this class.
Bigger class of crossbred calves here, and then you certainly have to appreciate that the young exhibitors are getting a head start on next year's projects already. And we're going to start off with a really nice shorthorn appearing heifer here. You certainly appreciate just the power that this one has. As you view her from down her top, you get her on 3/4 view, and just so much shape to this one, especially through her hip and her lower quarter, just as much mass and power. You certainly maybe make her a little more elegant and raise her neck coming out of her blades just ever so slightly to make her a little bit more attractive in that regards. But young man, a high quality one, start our crossbred show out with. Close pair in second and third. I'm going to use the young man with the Dale Brisby Mullet Award in second. You certainly like just how extended and how high that neck comes out of the shoulder in comparison to our calf. It might be giving up a little bit of squareness in her hip in comparison to the third calf, but two nice projects for these young men coming here in second and third. Young ladies, black heifer coming in fourth. You certainly appreciate just the length of spine and just the femininity that she has to her front one third. And she moves fairly correct and with the proper angles as you put her in motion. And again, with the young man coming out next with this calf. Again, just outhorsed by an outstanding class winner. But you'd like to see just a little bit more body in this one, just a little stouter, a little squarer, and a little bit more base width as we put her on the move. The next calves here, showing a little bit of dairy characteristic, which is okay. I mean, they're in part of the beef cattle industry as well. They get a little flatter in their makeup. They're a little bit more framey in their design, which will increase, which will add to their conversion, that it will be a little higher to maintain. A little bit more moderate cattle will be more appreciated, but some functional cattle in their own right, and should make some nice projects for these young people. Congratulations.
So winning this class of crossbred junior heifers is Ray Pember. Second was Connor Steyer. Third, Kobe Steyer. In the ring now is the summer yearling heifers. Reagan Singerhouse and Grant Cook.
Thank you to Numbers R Us, Common Sense Bookkeeping and more. They're a certified QuickBooks Pro Advisor and Daily Money Manager. Visit them online at numbersrus.com. Also, Pierce Pepin Co-op Services, your Touchstone Energy partner. 24/7 and West Wisconsin Telecom, building smart fiber optic communities from the ground up. Find out more. Visit www.coop. And Provisions Health of Durand, changing the way you experience healthcare. Find out more. Visit provisions.health. Thank you to all of our video stream sponsors. Please thank all of our sponsors. Give them a call, drop them an email, visit their business, and tell them thank you for supporting these video streams. Without their support, we wouldn't be at the Dunn County Fair here today. So please thank them for all of their support. As the Beef Cattle Show continues, a reminder, tomorrow we'll have the livestock auction with coverage beginning at about 4:45. Watching coverage of the Dunn County Fair's beef show. We're in class 15 of 27 classes.
Pair of yearlings in our crossbred division, and folks, if we didn't have to walk these cattle around, it'd be no contest, in my opinion. The heifer we start with, you certainly have to appreciate just how massive she is, especially get around behind her. You certainly appreciate just how powerful and stout she is. Just, I mean, you view her from get up on top of her, just how much turn she has to her top and how much power she has. You certainly, when you get around to the side of her, just how beautiful she is in her head and her neck, you certainly appreciate about her. Folks, I'm going to determine that this one has some sort of injury in her left shoulder today. She seems to be short striding off that left front. Folks, I've dragged cattle my whole life and all around the country, and things happen. And it doesn't, certainly today, it appears that she is favoring that. I think in the long run that this heifer is okay, and if you read her angles of her shoulder and her knee, that is not a structural issue, but an injury issue. Sorry, young lady, that happened to your heifer here, but you certainly have a good one in my opinion. Young man, standing second is a longer spined heifer. She's just flatter in her appearance. Again, we grant her that she is moving very extremely sound, and as you put her on her feet and her legs as she comes through the ring. But as you get along beside her and up on her at 3/4 view, she is flatter in her design, flatter in her muscle, flatter in her pattern, and a little plainer in her front in comparison to her class runner. But a very functional, very sound individual coming in second here.
Congratulations, Reagan Singerhouse, with her summer yearling heifer. Next in the ring we'll be choosing our champion and reserve crossbred female.
Your home for NASCAR is WRDN all season long. This week we go to Road America on Saturday for the Henry 250. Then we're at Richmond on Sunday.
Folks, as we come to the last division of our female show, again, my hat's off to the exhibitors and the parents and the 4-H and FFA leaders around here. The high quality cattle, end to end, you certainly have to. It makes it fun for me and fun and difficult when we're splitting hairs out here of what I can select and what I like and what I put emphasis on. You know, folks, I've described these cattle here in their classes, and then we'll just keep this show moving right along. I'm going to keep them 2 yearling heifers together as your champion reserve in this division. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Congratulations, Reagan Singerhouse, on her champion crossbred female. Reserve is Grant Cook.
Okay, it's the
Yeah.
top overall female now. Well, remember, this was where
Next up, we have the champions of each breed back in.
this could be where it quote unquote gets salty, as the judge said earlier.
Champion Angus, Margot Moses. Charlet, Addison Goldsmith. Herefords, Evan Bartlett. Limousine, John Reeby. Shorthorn, John Reeby with his junior yearling. Scimital, Kaylee Tiffany. Crossbred, Reagan Singerhouse.
Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Duran Broadcasting WRDN. Don't forget to click the bell for future notifications. If you missed the dairy show from yesterday, that is already on our YouTube channel. We'll have the hog show later this afternoon if it's not already propagated to the YouTube channel. We also have our livestock shows from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair there already. Again, that's our YouTube channel at Duran Broadcasting WRDN.
Folks, let's put your hands together for an incredible set of females in our show here this afternoon. Absolutely awesome set of females to evaluate, and the quality as we get them all back out here, like I predicted, was going to be really tough. I mean, these are high quality animals, and again, you can probably drive them around a long ways and probably not get beat very often or very bad. So my hat's off again to the exhibitors and the families and the breeders that are all involved with this deal. You know, folks, earlier today I was actually up at the Polk County Fair and watched, my niece was exhibiting sheep up there, and the other niece was exhibiting hogs yesterday, and they were telling me, I didn't get a chance to get up there yesterday and watch the show. We had some heavy ranching to do back home, so they were telling me about the showmanship contest, that they were down to the last 2 girls in their division, and they were just driving their hogs and getting after it, and the judge made his final selection. And then after he did that, the 2 girls hugged because they're friends. And folks, I would just wanted to say that's kind of what this is all about. I mean, sure, we get out here and it's intense and we're trying to win. But at the end of the day, we're, you know, I'm not going to take credit for this quote, but, you know, they say that we're not using the kids to improve the livestock. We're using the livestock to improve the kids. And again, each one of these kids is better off for being out here, and every one of these kids in this barn and the other barns around here are better off for being involved in production agriculture. And we certainly have to be all glad for that, especially in today's day and age of what's all going around us. But to get off my soapbox here a little bit, I'm going to go and get you a top 5. Again, you can pick out your champions. I'm going to pick out my top 5 for you. Hats off to all of them out here. Congratulations, all the exhibitors.
And one of the females is just like, I'm done. I want to go back. I'm done. Well, that's all right. There we go.
Champion female is from the Simmental class, shown by Kaylee Tiffany.
Congratulations to Kaylee.
Coming in the ring then is Caden Tiffany with his junior yearling. So your top 5 females are champion Simmental shown by Kaylee Tiffany. Reserve, Caden Tiffany. Third is your Charolais cow-calf, shown by Addison Goldsmith. Fourth is the Hereford, shown by Evan Bartlett. And fifth is the Limousine, shown by John Reeby. And we're going to take a short 15-minute break or so for the market show.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to keep the stream running, but again, we're just going to take a break, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes here at the Dunn County Fair and the beef show. Again, hope you're enjoying our coverage today. Again, taking a little bit of a break here for a couple of minutes. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. That's really nice. Are there any of those waters extra? I need one, yeah. I'm kind of dying. Oh, thank you. Yep. Well, that's great that you guys take a break. I can do my closing markets in between here. Holy cow, I was like, how am I going to do this? No, that's all right. 15 minutes should give me enough time. Markets were higher from the Dunn County Fair. I'm Brian Winkins with this market update on WRDN. Market price is courtesy of our chart. August milk up 28 to 17.26. September up 35 to 17.70. October up 27 to 18.24. November milk up 16 to 18.64. Live and feeder cattle markets mostly higher on the day. Weakness in the grain markets due, and also the weakness in some of these live and feeder cattle supply helping to support the markets on the positive exports. Hog markets mostly higher, increasing exports and low hog supply helping to support the market. August live cattle up 10 cents to 178.15. August feeder cattle up 95 cents to 245.60. August hogs up $1.17 to 103.40. Chicago Board of Trade corn, soybeans, and wheat all mostly lower on the day due to the weather forecast changing. Moderating temperatures, also plenty of moisture as well expected, at least from that long-range forecast for the corn and soybean belts, that helping to pressure the markets. Wheat markets also moving mostly lower. Again, there's still more reports of increasing pressure on Russia to back off on the blockade of Ukrainian ports. Plus, Ukraine's offensive seems to be picking up some steam. New crop corn down 12 to 5.30 and a quarter. New crop beans down 15 and a half to 13.82 and a half. Chicago wheat September down 8 and a half to 7.04 and a quarter. From the Dunn County Fair, I'm Brian Winkins.
Well, it is. I was like I said, like I had this plan to work for it. That's like a piece. Of course, I was standing out. It seemed like it was a little bit around standing in that. But if I hadn't grabbed that a little bit, or keep it pent up right, because it wouldn't have took too much, and it would have been. You know, how quick were you going to grab that?
With this Bluff Country 103.5 market recap, I'm Brian Winkins. At the Mercantile Exchange Friday, milk markets were higher. August milk up 28 to 17.26. September up 35 to 17.70. October up 27 to 18.24. November milk up 16 to 18.64. Cheese markets, barrels up a quarter to 176 and a quarter. 40-pound blocks up 4 and a quarter to 190 and 3/4. 6 trade a barrel, 3 trade a block on the day. Half butter down 1 and a quarter to 268. No trades. Trading non-fat dry milk up 1 and a quarter to 116. 5 trades on the day. Dry way down a quarter. 3 trades.
Another reminder, we are on our 15-minute break while the judge takes pictures with our top 5 breeding stock. Upon conclusion of our 15-minute break, we will pick back up with class number 16, our junior bull calf class. So if all 3 bull calves could be on deck and ready to go, we will bring you in the ring at roughly 2:35. Again, 2:35 to start our junior bull calf class, followed by our bred and owned breeding stock. Then we will move into our market steer selections.
Cattle markets were mostly higher on the day due to the cold storage reports showing lower cattle supply. Also, a positive export inspections report helping to support live and feeder cattle markets along with the drop in the grain market. Hogs also mostly higher, increasing export inspections, lower hog supply, and that cold storage report all helping to support markets. August live cattle up 10 cents to 178.15. August feeder cattle up 95 cents to 245.60. August hogs up $1.17 to 103.20. Chicago Board of Freight, corn, soybeans, and wheat all mostly lower. Soybeans really leading the entire complex lower. Extended forecast is showing moderating temperatures and increasing areas of moisture in the corn and soybean belts, which should help both corn and beans, and that really pressuring the grain markets throughout the day. Wheat markets also mostly lower due to weakness in the rest of the grain complex as well. Also, the spring wheat harvest continuing. New crop corn down 12 on the day to 5.40 in the quarter. March down 12 to 5.41 and 3/4. August beans down 45 and a quarter to 14.86 and 3/4. New crop down 15 and a half to 13.82 and a half. Chicago wheat September down 8 and a half to 7.04 and a quarter. Minneapolis wheat September down 8 and a quarter to 8.96. With this Pork Country 103.5 market recap, I'm Brian Monahan. Good morning, I'm Brian Winkins with this market recap on the WRDN Morning Farm Report. Market prices courtesy of Bar Chart, that's national markets. Local markets are next. You're listening to the WRDN Morning Farm Report. With this market recap on the Morning Farm Report from Wisconsin 106. Market prices courtesy of Bar Charts. That's national markets. Local markets are next. This is the Morning Farm Report from Wisconsin 106.
All right, guys, our 15-minute show break has concluded. Brent is back from the backdrop doing pictures. So we are going to move into our junior bull calf class. If we could have our 3 junior bull calf entries make their way to the ring. Gabby Wantock, Aaliyah Call, and Harvest Johnson. Upon the conclusion of our bull calf class, we'll move into our bred and owned breeding stock selection. And we'll keep rolling right into our market steer show, starting with our mini Hereford class.
All right, so things getting back underway here. In Dunn County with the Dunn County Beef Show. So we get things back underway after our break. We're in the bull calves right now. Again, welcome back, everyone, as our break is completed here and back underway. Let's go there, young lady. Deb joining us again. The Dunn County Fair. Well, you know, well, you know, if you're going to sit next to the guy at the microphone, well, a beautiful day today. I know a lot different than what it was yesterday, and I know that there were folks that were actually pretty appreciative of having everything kind of end early because of one, not only the storms, but the heat was getting to excessive.
It was. It was pretty miserable out here. I felt really bad for like the carnival workers. I mean, there was 3 of them that went down from heat exhaustion, and it was completely empty out there. And they're in that hot sun. I give them a lot of credit for trying to work yesterday, but and obviously, safety of people is what we need to be prepared for. A storm like that to evacuate, and it's better to make the decision ahead of time so we can get ready.
And thankfully, you know, no one, you know, was hurt. The carnival workers will be okay. But boy, you couldn't ask for a nicer day today.
Oh, beautiful! What a turnaround! It's like one of those things where you flip a switch.
Exactly.
You know?
So you enjoying the cattle show today?
Well,
the
first
show?
time I got down here, I saw a little bit of the hog show, but I've been pulled about 80 million places like usual. So I'm coming down here to
relax
and relax a little bit and watch the show. So
we'll let you watch the show, but thanks again for having us. And again, beautiful day here at the fair. I'm looking forward to the auction tomorrow too.
You bet.
You bet.
Thank you for coming, Brian.
Oh, not a problem. As again, Deb, you can stay sitting there. That's fine. Not a. You know, you're going to take some pictures too. That's great. But again, the beef show continuing here, getting into the market classes now, and this will be. We'll start getting into those here in just a couple minutes. Right now we're in bull calves. Junior bull calves, and then we'll have bred and owned breeding stock as well. As the show continues here, and looks like we have our decision.
In our bull calf class here, three nice calves in our show here today. You certainly you have to appreciate just the class for these kids that 50% of the time, if they've got a heifer at home, they're calving her out, that she's going to have a bull calf. So it's a good way to get these kids have something to exhibit here at the fair, and better luck next year on getting a heifer calf for these young people. But I'm going to leave them in order as we see them here. The young lady with the Charolais calf is super attractive in the front 1/3, bold in the center part of his body with enough sweep and dimension. You certainly have to appreciate just how good he is in his angles with his pastern and his hock. He moves free and easy as we put him on the move. Just a nice place to start in his class. The young lady's a March Hereford bull calf. Maybe just a little bit more lower quarter than our Charolais bull, but I think as far as attractiveness and just the smoothness of appearance and balance in comparison to our Charolais, just lacks a little bit in that placing there. The young lady here just gets beat up on weight per day of age of our cattle here. You just like to see a lot more of this calf. You like to see a little more bone, a little more power as we analyze him in the ring. Congratulations to these young exhibitors.
Congratulations, Gabriella Wantock, for her champion junior bull calf. Reserve is Aaliyah Call.
Now bred and owned breeding stock coming out. Always like this category. These are kids that they didn't buy any of these. They bred these. They've owned these on their own.
Next in the ring is our bred and owned breeding stock. We have Allison Bartlett showing her Hereford heifer, Margot Moses with an Angus heifer, John Reeby, Angus heifer, Kinsey Singerhouse, a Hereford heifer, Miriam Moses with her Angus heifer, Reagan Singerhouse with a crossbred heifer, and Gabriella Wantock with a Charolais bull.
Thank you to our sponsors as well today, and thank you to the Chippewa Valley Energy supporting the 4-H and FFA youth of our community. They've also been serving the Chippewa Valley since 1922. Find out more at ChippewaValleyEnergy.com. Wisconsin Credit Union, serving members for over 80 years. Visit wisconsincu.org. Also, Shannon Crop Services of Menominee. Shannon Crop Services, your Pip Seeds dealer, also providing crop insurance as well for the farm, Bristol and Al Shannon. Visit them online as well at Shannon Crop Services of Menominee, and also Sunny Sky CBD of Durand. Visit Sunny Sky CBD's website for CBD products, not only for yourself, the family, but also your pets as well. That's Sunny Sky CBD. Please thank all of our sponsors. They make our video streams possible. Visit them at their business. Give them a call. Drop them an email. Tell them thank you for supporting our video streams. Without their support, we'd not be here at the Dunn County Fair.
Let's put our hands together for these bred and owned exhibitors here. And again, this is kind of what it's all about, is these young people having heifers and calving them out and raising them, and keeping this industry alive. And continuing the beef cattle to go ahead and be the people that raise them and feed America and feed the world. So with that, again, we've seen all these cattle throughout this afternoon here today. I'm just going to go out and get you a champion in reserve of the bred and owned division. Congratulations again to these young people.
Congratulations to Kinsey Singerhouse for champion bred and owned, and Margot Moses for reserve champion bred and owned. Next up, we start our market show with our first class of minis. We have a mini Hereford shown by Chase Friedley.
So our market show underway. Again, I hope you're enjoying coverage of the Dunn County Beef Show today. Don't forget the livestock auction will be tomorrow. We'll begin our coverage at about 4:55 tomorrow afternoon from the Dunn County Fair. You know that red and black Angus breeds, named for their color and Scottish origins, are two of the most popular breeds of beef cattle in the United States. It's partially because they're naturally polled. They don't have horns, and they do well out on the range with little attendance and produce excellent quality, highly marbled meat as well. Their bodies are thick and sturdy, giving them the ability to pack on the pound. So red and black Angus is the most popular.
Starting off our steer show here with a mini. I asked him how much his calf weighed. He said that I didn't need to know because he wasn't for sale and he wasn't for beef. He's a pet. And folks, that is. I was just going to comment on these miniature cattle and the popularity of them. That, you know, even though basically half the size, that we're still, with half the inputs, we're still supplying, the nutritious and delicious product, a high quality protein with less inputs. And we may have to start using some of that to our advantage here as the world changes and what the government's trying to do to animal agriculture, that we might have to utilize some of those smaller genetics. But that's a whole nother deal too. But young man's calf is real nice. You certainly appreciate just how sound he is on the move and the length of body, and is attractive with front 1/3. Yeah, we'd like to make him a little stouter from end to end. Just spread him apart as his skeleton and just give him a little more lower quarter. But nice project for this young man. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Chase Friedley, on your champion mini Hereford. Next up, we have our junior steer class. In the ring is Sophia Bauer with a jersey, Aubrey McClellan with crossbred, and Mackenzie McClellan with her crossbred.
I've had Jersey steer before, by the way, Jersey meat, and it's a little bit different from which might be with Angus or some of the other meats. The fat has a little more yellow in it, and it's a different flavor. And actually, I've enjoyed it very much. As we continue on with the beef show here at the Dunn County Fair. Those of you watching us on our Facebook channel at WRDN 1430 AM stereo and 107.3 FM, let us know where you're watching us from in the comments section. We've had some folks during the hog show and the dairy show from Florida, Utah, Tennessee, Milwaukee area, of course, locally as well, Rock Falls area, Prairie Farm area, Ridgeland area. But let us know where you're watching us from today in the comment section on our Facebook page. Of course, many people in Wisconsin, when they think about cattle, especially those in the city, they think about, black and whites. Yeah, Holsteins. They think about Holsteins, and Holsteins are likely the most to pop into many folks' mind. However, you remember, Holsteins is for milk, as the udder's very well developed, but the Holstein itself thin and bony. That's for the milk, and it puts as much energy into making milk instead of meat and fat. However, the dairy industry is still a very large portion of the beef industry in Wisconsin and really nationally as well. Many dairy animals
and the junior
are
calf
for ground
division
beef.
here. What a good way to get these kids started with their projects earlier for next year. You certainly got to like the calf here in first. You appreciate the amount of bone he has and just the length of side. You'd like to, in comparison to our second place calf, just how much square and bolder he is up in his rump and down in his lower quarter. And he tracks out on a good set of feet and legs. Again, these cattle here today, all day long, have been really sound and free moving. The calf here in second, I think it's a little bit more prettier than that front one third. It's just a little bit more better design in that head and shoulder, but gives up too much in that rear quarter. And that squareness in that hip in comparison to our class winner. The young lady rounds out the class with a December calf, bigger frame kind of a calf, and you'd like to just see just a little bit more meat and muscle in it in regards to his frame. But a nice set of calves for these young ladies. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Mackenzie McClelland on her crossbred junior steer. Reserve champion is Aubrey McKellen.
Like, share, and subscribe
Next
to
up
our
is our Jersey dairy steers, shown by Sophia Bauer.
Again, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Duran Broadcasting WRDN. Don't forget to click the bell for future notifications. Our beef show today will be saved to our YouTube channel as well, and we'll have that later on this afternoon. The hog show will also be propagating as well back to the YouTube channel here coming up. We have the dairy show that's already on the YouTube channel from yesterday, and we also have the shows from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair at our YouTube channel at Duran Broadcasting WRDN. Always have, during the dairy shows, I've always said the jerseys and the brown Swiss, they're the divas. I think the jerseys can be kind of a diva here in the beef show too.
The young lady from the last class with her jersey brings her back a full-size jersey steer here, and you certainly have to appreciate the job she's done. Adequate marbling, adequate muscling on this calf. You certainly have to, the nice job that she's done with him, and he's sound in his makeup and got plenty of meat and muscle on him. Congratulations, young lady, on your calf.
Hey, Mom and Dad are allowed to cheer.
Congratulations, Sophia Bauer, champion Jersey steer.
All right, we now move on to the dairy steers coming up more as well as we continue.
Next up
on.
is our Holstein steers. We have Caleb Gilbertson, Eli Biesterveld, Abigail Schlew, Jacob Schlew, Brian Steyer, and Connor Steyer.
So the dairy steers continuing on. We got the Holsteins. Just talked about the Holsteins. Of course, normally everybody thinks the Holstein cows, those are the milk cows, not these dairy steers. Now, did you know that some of the animals, some of the cattle that was designated for beef production are sold to stockers? Stockers, S-T-O-C-K-E-R-S, stockers, also called backgrounders. Stockers are cattlemen who raise weaned steers and or heifers until they're ready to be sent to market or to a feedlot. Most beef cattle will spend 4 to 6 months at a feedlot where they're fed a grain-based diet that helps them gain weight quickly. During this finishing phase, the cattle's health will be monitored on a daily basis. When market weight is reached, the animals are sent to a processing facility. The average beef animal weighs, by the way, 1,200 pounds and will yield about 520 pounds of meat. Now, while beef cattle are primarily raised for meat, did you know that they produce other things? Medicine, paint, adhesives, soap, cosmetics, detergents, and hundreds of other products. 99% of the animal is used. In fact, footballs, they're coming from beef cattle. As we get ready for the football season just around the corner. Of course, training camp going underway for the pros. Training camp starting for some of the high school teams too here just around the corner. They'll be starting to do some of that. Our first high school football broadcast will be on August 18th. I know. It's Deb's looking at me going, what? I also noticed, Deb, the days are getting shorter. Have you noticed that? It's like, seriously? Really? I'm not really looking forward to that. I noticed that this morning. I'm like, geez, it's 6 o'clock. It seems to be a little dark outside. Oh, it must be the clouds. No, it's just dark. It's kind of dark outside. Your home for farm news and markets throughout the day is WRDN Radio. We have 7 hours of farm programming, Monday through Friday. It all starts off with the morning farm report from 5 to 7 a.m. Farm news, farm markets, ag weather. We have dairy news with Bill Baker and Dairy Radio Now. Mike Pearson has national news as well with Farm Progress America, plus some great classic country music too. Hourly market updates at 9, 10, 11. During the noon hour at about 12:30, we'll have our noon report with midday markets, farm news, ag, weather as well. From 1 until 3, Chip Fleury's in with AgriTalk with the latest news and issues not only affecting the rural America, but also the farm markets as well, all of the news and issues affecting the markets. From 3 until 4, it's agriculture, or it's America on Agriculture. We wrap up our broadcast day for our farm programming at 4:30 with Susan Littlefield and the Fontenelle Final Bell. Susan talks with market analysts from across the nation on grain markets, livestock markets, and dairy markets too with the Fontenelle Final Bell. You can listen to our farm programming, of course, on the radio at AM 1430 AM stereo WRDN and 107.3 FM as well, plus online at realcountry1430.com. Just look for the player on the left-hand side of the home page. We also are on Alexa, Apple CarPlay, Google Home, even Roku as well. So plenty of different ways to listen for our farm programming Monday through Friday. 7 hours of it, by the way, here on WRDN. All right, looks like we have our final decisions here in this class.
A nice class of dairy steers here, and quality from end to end. You certainly appreciate just the uniformity of these guys here. Young lady we're going to start with, certainly a high quality one in its own right, exceptional in its design. You certainly appreciate just the amount of power it has up in its top and down through its quarter. Folks, I'd like to see if this one at the Minnesota State Fair and that big old dairy steer show over there, I think he could turn some heads and do a little damage over there if he was allowed to compete. But certainly a high quality one in his own right. Steer in second, probably most amplifies our class winner in type and kind. Again, bigger in his hip, bolder in his quarter and stifle. Just not quite as the pizzazz of our class winner. But again, most resembles our class winner in that regard. Close placing here in second and third. The young man's steer coming just a little more sound and attractive in his angles of his feet and legs that we put him on the move in comparison to our fourth. And then we get down the line a little bit in our fifth and sixth place steers. Our fifth place steer, you'd like to just power up in his top and up in behind his shoulder. Just give it more rear quarter as we analyze him from the rear. And the young man steer rounding out the class, the lightest steer in the class, and we'd like to see a little bit more finish and cover on that one. And again, lengthen them out in his hip from his hooks to his pins, and just stouting them up and squaring them up as we go down to his quarter. Nice class of Holstein steers.
Congratulations, Abigail Schlew on her champion dairy steer. Reserve champion was Jacob Schlew.
Move on to the dairy cross now.
Next in the ring is our dairy cross steers. We have Connor Albright, Ariana Pickering, Tyler Albright, Jacob Albright, Addison Goldsmith, and Kobe Steyer.
Yeah, some of the boys are a little cranky right now. They were taking a nap. I think they were taking a nap, and now it's like, you woke me up for this? Really? It's like, come on. That's how I would be. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, because it's, for me, I'm up so early in the morning. Yeah, right about now, it's nap time. It's like, no, don't bother me. So a few of these boys out here are going to be a little cranky this afternoon. It's like, gentlemen, just relax, it's just going to be a couple minutes. He doesn't agree. Guess he told me. You know, typically cattle are turned out to graze on allotted land, especially out west in the spring. Mothers raise their calves out on the open range throughout the summer. Farmers keep a close eye on their cattle, monitoring their growth and health during this time period. Sometime in the fall, then the cattle are all rounded up. At this point, the cattle that will be safe for breeding stock are separated from cattle that go to beef production. The breeding stock would include pregnant mothers who will give birth in the spring and then be returned to the range and complete the cycle all over again. He just wants extra screen time, I think. That's the other part of it. Maybe he's acting a little bit devish. He's like, you think those jerseys are like that? Watch, I can do that too. In our dairy cross here, the weights are going anywhere from 1,406 pounds to 1,850 pounds. So that's there's some big steers here. Hey there, buddy. Hello again. Thank you very much. Yeah, all right. He said hi every time he's come by. I think he likes us. I think so. I think he's not, he doesn't want to, he just wants to come and hang out. Problem is, Deb, is you haven't told him yet you're a Guernsey, you like Guernseys, and that's gonna get him cranky, you know. Nice crowd here watching the show today. Well, here we go. Let's see if he says hi again. Well, there we go. Every time he's come by. Again, we'll have coverage of the auction tomorrow, with our coverage beginning at about 4:55 tomorrow afternoon from under the two oak trees where we had the hog show today. And looking forward to that. Your home for NASCAR, WRDN, as all season long. We'll this Saturday, tomorrow, we'll have the Henry 250 from Road America on the Xfinity Series. And in the NASCAR Cup Series, we're in Richmond this weekend. So be listening for that. Look out. We continue here, narrowed it down to the last 4. Well, and that one, Holstein Dairy Cross, our buddy there, he's saying hi again and basically saying, are we done yet? Buddy, you might be getting up there as like 1 or 2. Down to the last 2. She's like, why did you have to move right there? Right when the judge is looking, why? He's like, because I want to. And I'm going to, and I'm cranky. Plus, he wants to show off a little bit. I think he's showing off. I think he showed off to win. I think it's exactly what happened. He knew. He's like, I got to show off here. And that's exactly what he did. All right, waiting for that final decision here.
A nice class of dairy cross steers. We're going to start with the young ladies black and white steer. I think as far as just composition goes and soundness goes and just sheer eye appeal, squareness, amount of bone, his calf wins the classes. Certainly is sound and attractive when you put him on the move. Sure, you'd like to just power him up just ever so slightly from behind in his middle portion just to get a little more shape in the center part of his body in comparison to our second place. But I think that's an appropriate place to start with. The young man's all black steer, tipping the scales at 18.5. I guess I estimated him at somewhere between 8 8/10 and 9/10 of fat on him. You certainly have to appreciate the amount of power and mass that he has and just the overall doability and conversion that this one has. You'd like to, again, he was probably ready for the freezer like 2 to 3 months ago, and then that's a disadvantage because the fair dates don't change, and the young man had to keep on feeding them, That all being said, I think the amount of power that this one has and just top and just sheer mass that this one has, you certainly have to put him in the second hole in this particular class. Young ladies, red steer coming next. Again, you wish he would just have a little more shape to him. He gets a little flatter in his angles and his sides. I certainly appreciate the length that he has and just the overall, again, doability. We just like to power him up and we just give him more muscle shape throughout in order to place any higher in this class. The steers coming down the line again. We're looking at some steers that are a little bit straighter, a little more sleeker in design. You'd like to balance them up just a little nicer and, again, just give them just more mass and internal dimension as to place any higher in this class.
Congratulations, Ariana Pickering, for her champion Dairy Cross steer. Reserve champion shown by Kobe Steyer.
Well, Ariana's
Next
steer
up, we're
showed
starting our
off and won.
single-bred steers. First in the ring is the lightweight single-bred steers. We have Evan Bartlett, Margot Moses, Reagan Singerhouse, and Allison Bartlett.
Thank you to Dunn Energy, your Touchstone Energy partner and cooperative, and NTech, your premier communications and entertainment provider, Durand. Adam Super Service, your Napa Gold Car Care Center, Durand. And Prime Realty of Durand, the area's #1 home seller. Visit their website at primerealtymidwest.com. Prime Realty, they are the area's #1 home seller. Our sponsors, just a few of our video streaming sponsors today. Please thank all of our sponsors. Give them a call, drop them an email, visit their business, tell them thank you for supporting our video streams. Again, without the support of these businesses, we wouldn't be here today. So please thank all of our sponsors for supporting our video streams from not only the Dunn County Fair, but the Northern Wisconsin State Fair, next week's Buffalo Pepin Fair, and the Pierce County Fair as well after that. We have the auction coming up tomorrow night. Our coverage beginning at about 4:55. We're in class 23 of 27 this afternoon. And those of you watching our video stream this afternoon on our Facebook page, tell us where you're at. Mention in the comments where you're watching us from today. We've had folks from Utah and Tennessee, Florida. So let us know in the comments. Well, did you know the average American consumes about 55 pounds of beef each year? That can equate to, as a country, we devour, get this, 50 billion hamburgers annually. Wow. Beef cattle are raised in every state across the nation, but Texas, Oklahoma, and Missouri rank as the states with the highest inventory of beef cattle. No, I guess Deb's got to go now. She's they've been looking for her, and they found her. You're listening for local news 4 times a day, 7, 8, noon, and 4 here on WRDN. And also online at realcountry1430.com. Also via Alexa. We have a new Alexa skill. You can ask Alexa to enable the WRDN skill. And then say, after that's been enabled, say, Alexa, play Real Country 1430. And that will start the audio stream. Our audio stream, by the way, is not fed by the control board, but our audio stream is actually, you're listening to an AM radio. That's right, an AM radio feeds our audio stream as we broadcast in AM stereo. We do that, we let you hear it, what AM radio can sound like. And that's how it should sound like. But the car companies and some of the receiver manufacturers do not want to put in or activate the AM stereo reception in their receivers. So let the car companies know that their receivers that they should include AM stereo in their AM receivers. It does sound just like FM, if not even better.
We get into our single breed steer class, our lightweight steers here. A nice class of 4 here, top to bottom. Young lady, shorthorn steer, you certainly have to just appreciate just the mass that this one has, starting at the top of his shoulder, how wide he is coming out from there, and how much turn he has to his top, how thick he is from end to end as you view him from up above. And then you get around behind him, just how much lower quarter and mass he has and how square he is, and he certainly does it all on a fault-free running gear on this one. It's a very nice steer for this young lady to start the class. We're splitting hairs here on second and third, and you can flip them if you want to. The young ladies, the things for me, just I think a little bit sounder on the move, a little bit better in his angle of his shoulder. In comparison, steer that it granted that I think the Hereford steer is a little longer sided kind of a calf, and maybe just a little narrower up in his top, especially when you get behind the shoulder, and maybe just a little bit more upright in his blade than our second place steer, but a nice place to go for our second and third. The young man who rounds out the class, elegant and very attractive in the front one third. I just like to make him move free and easier off of both ends. Calf, they would come in with a little bit heavier and conditioned, and he certainly would want to just add just more center body to this one as well. Congratulations to those 4 young exhibitors.
Congratulations, Allison Bartlett, winning her class for the lightweight single-bred steers. We have a couple of vehicles that need to be moved from where they are at. One is a truck, license plate 214984F. The other one is a Ford Edge, license plate 988WMM. They're parked over by the pit gate. If you could move those right away, we'd appreciate it.
Watching coverage of the Dunn County Beef Show this afternoon.
In the ring now is our heavyweight division of the single-bred steers. We have Ray Pember, Evan Bartlett, Kinsey Singerhouse, Stella Lugo, Caden Tiffany, John Reby, and Connor Steyer.
While Brent goes down the line to discuss one of our biggest single breed classes of the day, we're just gonna list off a few more thank yous for today's show. A big thank you goes to our beef superintendent and beef assistant, Del Kais and Jennifer Dressel, for all the work they did in putting this year's Bean Animal Program Beef Project together. Behind the scenes with me here is Kenzie Pearson and Cheryl Kais, along with Show Royalty, who has been helping hand out our ribbons, Allison Bartlett, the Wantock crew, and Jack Edwards for helping behind the scenes with ribbons. We also have WRDN here, broadcasting the coverage of all of our Meat Animal Project shows. And then a big thank you again to our judge, Mr. Brent Worth.
Did you know U.S. farmers and ranchers produce 18% of the world's beef with only 8% of the world's cattle? Not all grass-fed beef is organic, by the way. To be organic, the beef must meet USDA's organic requirements. Grain-finished beef has a lower carbon footprint than grass-fed beef. Cattle that are fed grain produce less methane and reach market weight more quickly, thus using less natural resources. Okay, do you know what the quality grades mean? Well, let's tell you about them. Do you know prime beef comes from young cattle who are well fed? The meat has abundant marbling and can typically be found in restaurants and hotels. Choice beef is considered high quality but less marbling than prime. Roasts and steaks from the rib and loin will be juicy, tender, and full of flavor. Select beef is leaner than prime. In choice, it still may be tender, but will lack flavor and juiciness due to less marbling. It's suggested many select cuts should be marinated before cooking to maximize flavor. Standard and commercial grade beef is typically sold as ungraded or store brand meat. And utility and cutter beef is rarely sold at retail but can be used to make ground beef and other processed products. Maybe you heard canners and cutters before. Way back in the day, I remember hearing that on the Farm Report when I was a kid up in Green Bay, WGEE. Of course, remember my grandfather and uncle listening to that and hearing the man talk about canners and cutters. Getting some of our decisions made here. Again, beautiful day here at the Dunn County Fair. We'll have our livestock auction coming up tomorrow. Some of the boys are getting a little cranky here. They're trying to tell the judge, let's go. Make your decision here. Again, livestock auction coming up tomorrow night. We'll have coverage beginning at 4:55. You know, mono unsaturated fat, the fat found in avocados and olive oil, makes up about half of all fat found in beef.
We get into our heavy weights of our single breed steers, and let's give these kids a nice hand. This is an awesome set of steers, end to end. High quality throughout, and I guess if we're again splitting hairs on the whole through the whole thing. But for me, the Angus appearing steer here, you certainly have to just appreciate just how sound he is, and I think that's where he gets his advantage from. And muscle expression. You watch him on his front as he travels out, and on his feet and his legs. I think he beats our second place steer in that regard. And as well, he has more muscle expression, especially down his top. Into his stifle and his forearm versus our steer in second. Steer in second, I think, has just a slight advantage in the length of side and in muscle volume, but again, the steer that wins it has more muscle expression throughout. Steer that gets a little bit more upright in his shoulder and a little bit straighter in his knee, like to push that back underneath him. But again, two outstanding steers to start this class. 3 and 4 gets pretty close as well. The steer again here in third, just on soundness and balance versus our steer in fourth. For me, the steer in fourth, just he gets a little piecey as we get.
Uh-oh.
And you'd like to balance him up ever so slightly. He does have the advantage in muscle mass in comparison, but I just prefer the soundness and style of our Hereford steer that coming out next. And then we get down to a few steers here. You'd just like to stouten them up and balance them up a little nicer. Steer here coming next, you just like to give him more center body and open him up in his lower 1/3 in comparison, but a nice calf and sound in his own right. Our Charolais appearing steer coming next. just a nice sound steer. For me, for his frame, he probably needs another, 100, 150 pounds on him to get as much cover and quality cover on it as the other steers in the class. But a good steer in his own right. I'd like to see him in 45 to 60 days and see how he'd stack up in this class in comparison. And the steer that rounds out the class, you just like to balance him up, clean him up throughout, and he'd stand a little higher in today's class. But an outstanding set of calves, top to bottom.
Congratulations, Evan Bartlett, first place in the heavyweight class of single-bred steers. Second place was John Reeby. And we're bringing both the first and second of the lightweight and heavyweight breeds in single-bred steers in for champion and reserve.
A really good division out here. Again, let's put our hands together for these single breed steers. Folks, anybody can show a crossbred steer, but to the breeders and the exhibitors who are bringing out these purebred cattle, you have to give your hats off to these guys. It's kind of a, it's not cool if you're showing purebred steers versus crossbred steers, but the quality that we have out here is second to none. You certainly have to appreciate that. For me, as closely placed as that heavyweight was, and I think they're more market ready for us here today. I'm going to keep them two heavyweight steers together as your champion, reserve champion in this division. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Evan Bartlett on the champion single-bred steer, and John Reeby on reserve champion single-bred steer. Next up is our crossbred division. We'll start with our lightweights. In the ring, we have Harvest Johnson, Parker Jacobs, and Kaylee Tiffany.
Class 25 of 27 here at the Dunn County Fair. So we continue on with the beef show. Well, did you know that one U.S. farmer produces food and fiber for 165 people a year, and women make up 30% of the total number of farm operators? Cattle, calves, corn, and dairy products are the top 3 U.S. farm products, and farm and ranch families make up just 2% of the U.S. population. Now, location and climate play a big role in food production. California is the nation's top agricultural state, and many parts of California, not all of it, they do have a moderate Mediterranean-type climate and diverse land resources, which allow year-round production of many commodities, including carrots, lettuce, broccoli, artichokes, and avocados. Of course, they need that water for some of those areas. Of course, what's happened with the Tulare Lake coming back, that was the largest lake west of the Mississippi. It had gone away because it was diverted, all the water was diverted for agriculture production, and a lot of farms showed up there. But of course, with the big floods this year, Tulare Lake is back and probably will be for the next few years. Now, North Dakota's sub-humid continental climate, I was almost going to say subhuman, but sub-humid continental climate is perfect for the production of small grains, specifically spring wheat and durum wheat. Florida's subtropical climate, of course, allows Florida to produce nearly 65% of the U.S. citrus production. Of course, Wisconsin, with our climate, is geared towards the dairy industry. So I got to say about North Dakota is the wind never stops blowing. As we're getting closer to wrapping things up here this afternoon at the Dunn County Fair. And again, thank you to all of our sponsors throughout this afternoon. Please thank all of our sponsors as well. Can't stress that enough, to give them a phone call, drop them an email, visit their business and tell them thank you for supporting these broadcasts, these live video streams. Without their help, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. So please thank all of our sponsors. They're the ones that make these broadcasts and video streams possible. Not just here at the Dunn County Fair, but also earlier this month at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. Next week at the Buffalo Pepin County Fair. And then after that at the Pierce County Fair as well. Livestock auction tomorrow night, 5 o'clock here at the Dunn County Fair. We'll have the luncheon for the buyers at 4, and then the auction starting at 5. We will have coverage of the auction starting at 4:55 tomorrow afternoon. Most of the food, of course, we eat does require some form of food processing, which includes things like curing pork, pasteurizing milk, turning milk into cheese. Of course, we squeeze oranges into orange juice or turn apples into applesauce. Without food processing, diets would only consist of raw food, exactly as they were produced on the farm, and only in season or for shelf life of the food item. So you've got to kind of remember that we do need to have some type of food processing. Looks like we have our decision here, this class.
As we start our cross-breast division here in our lightweight steers, there's certainly different types and kinds out here. You can pick your poison however you want. For me, the young lady steer I'm going to start with here is the longest spined, most sound and correct in its angles, and then certainly that. Is it the heavy muscled one out here? No. Is he the the most flashy one out here? No, he's not. But I think when you boil it right down to it, I think it's the soundest, most complete one out here, and at a more appropriate weight with a more appropriate amount of cover on him in comparison to our steer in second. Definitely the most heavy muscled one out here is the young lady's red steer. I certainly would like to just have him relax on his angles and his joints. Steer's carrying some fluid on his hocks. He just would like to make him more comfortable on the move. He'd like to make him just a longer spine, a little more free and easy out of his front 1/3. He gets a little bold in his shoulder. For me, and again, you'd like to see him just a little heavy with a little more even finish on him in comparison to our class winner. But again, the most heavy muscle steer out here, and you have to give him some props for that. Young man who rounds out the class. A steer that, again, more amplifies our class winner. But for me, he gets a little bit round in his shape, round in his rump. Steer that you'd like to give him just more internal, center body, especially down in his rear flank. Steer you'd like to give him more cover on him for a more appropriate market finish in comparison to the steers above him, but a nice class of steers.
Class winner for your lightweight crossbred steers is Kaylee Tiffany. Second place, Harvest Johnson. In the ring now are the heavyweight crossbred steers, shown by Grant Cook, Reagan Singerhouse, and Ariana Pickering.
Class number 26 of 27. Of course, all of the food we eat travels through some type of supply or commodity chain, even if we go to Duran Smokehouse to get our beef sticks. It's still going through a chain because the farmer had to take it to Duran Smokehouse, obviously. Growing, harvesting, transporting, processing, and consuming are all links in the chain. The complexity of the chain depends on the presence or absence. Now, eating fresh produce from your garden creates a short commodity chain because, well, it takes less time and resources to grow and transport homegrown produce. For Rhonda and I, it's just walk out to the deck and, as long as the rabbits haven't eaten everything, right? But eating California-grown produce in the Midwest, of course, creates a long commodity chain because labor and resources to grow and harvest the crop, and then, of course, you have to process it. And don't forget, you got to transport those commodities. Martin Transport, well, that would be one right there. They would be maybe shipping from California back to Wisconsin. Or California Overland, another one out of Wabasha, might be doing the same thing. So, of course, that makes that commodity chain, that supply chain, a lot farther. And, of course, then, if you're getting it from California, unless it's being delivered right to your house, of course, you have to go to where? A place like Duran Fresh Market to pick it up. Of course, beef cattle are raised in all 50 states. Now, do you know, besides the meat, their beef cattle are producing things like leather, insulin, sutures, glue, animal feed, and much more. Cattle or calves raised on beef ranches are born in the late winter and early spring. After the end of the Civil War, there was a high demand for meat in cities where large populations of people lived, but most cattle ranches were hundreds or thousands of miles from those cities. That began the era of the cattle drive. Texas had the largest herds of cattle, and without refrigeration, semi-trucks, interstates, or the railway extending far beyond the Mississippi River, the only way to transport cattle was to have them walk to the railhead that would take them to processing houses and markets. Keep in mind, home-based refrigerators and freezers had yet to be invented. Many people had ice boxes, you know, like you use for camping or at the picnic. That would, but this would not keep meat from spoiling for long. People created other ways to preserve their meat: drying, curing, and canning. And oftentimes kept meat at the local butcher store in a large refrigerator. So there you go.
Another nice class of crossbred steers here, and we've got some give and take and throughout this class, but for me, the one that surfaces to the top is the young lady's black steer. You certainly like just how much muscle he has, just how much shape that he has throughout. For me, maybe, you know, we'd like to level him out from his hooks to his pins and lengthen them out there ever so slightly, but steer, as far as composition goes, I think this one's got to come to the top. The young lady steered second. Boy, I wish this steer would have been at a fair, you know, 45 days ago. I think a 1,400-pound steer like that, I think this calf could have been really competitive, certainly. He certainly is still yet today. I mean, I love this steer from his center rib back. I mean, he's just so good and powerful, and that where he has the advantage over our black steer. But for me, he just gets too bold in that shoulder. A steer, the angle of the top of his shoulder. And I think a steer that's just a little bit too overdone for the show here today, but a high quality one in its own right. The steer that finishes up, again, you'd like to just balance him up a little nicer, just straighten him out from his top, from his shoulder to his loin. Steer you'd like to just make more powerful down low and in that quarter, but a nice set of crossbred steers.
In this class of heavyweight crossbred steers, first place went to Reagan Singerhouse, second place, Ariana Pickering.
So we'll do the champion for reserve and crossbred steers, and then the overall
And now
champion.
coming back in the ring are the first and second place for the lightweight and heavyweight to pick a champion and reserve crossbred steer.
Oh, Regan steers like, oh, come on, can't I just take, I thought we were done here. Now you're making me stay out here. I want to take a nap. You know, prior to the invention of barbed wire, the only method of fencing animals was wood. This was expensive, time-consuming, and wood not available in the open prairie. It wasn't a feasible option for large cattle herds, requiring miles and miles of fencing, so they were managed on the open prairies or rangeland. The invention of barbed wire allowed fences to be built. As landowners began fencing in their property, it became more and more difficult to drive cattle.
Another nice set of steers in this crossbred division, and you know, we're ending another long Friday here, and I'm going to try to keep this moving and keep my comments short. I mean, we've had a pretty tough week already with the severe weather and the heat and the humidity, and it's not as bad as yesterday, but it still isn't real good. So I'll keep this thing moving. For me, you know, I really appreciate how correct and sound that gray steer was, and I said there was enough there for him to go ahead and win that class in comparison to our red steer here. But when we get him out against the heavyweight steer, I just think we're just a little bit light on muscle in comparison to our heavyweight steer. So, young lady with the black steer, you're going to be the champion heavyweight steer in this division. Young lady with the gray steer out of the first class, you're going to be reserved. Congratulations.
All right, it's championship drive.
Congratulations, Reagan Singerhouse on her champion crossbred steer. Reserve champion, Kaylee Tiffany.
All right, it's championship drive. This is for the Supreme Grand Champion. This is Grand Champion here for our market beef.
Next up is the championship drive, and we will have the champions and reserves coming in for all the breeds. We'll start with the mini Hereford, shown by Chase Friedley. Champion crossbred junior steer, shown by Mackenzie McClellan. Champion Jersey, Sophia Bauer. Holstein, Abby Schlew. Champion Dairy Cross, Ariana Pickering. Single breed champion, Evan Bartlett. Crossbred champion, Reagan Singerhouse.
So here we go. It's the champion drive. This is for the grand champion of the beef, the market beef class. Your home for farm news and markets throughout the entire day is WRDN. We feature 7 hours of farm news and markets Monday through Friday, it all kicks off with the WRDN Morning Farm Report from 5 to 7 a.m. Farm news, farm markets, ag, weather, dairy news with Bill Baker as well, and some great classic country music too. Hourly market updates at 9, 10, and 11 o'clock. 12:30 is our noon market update and news update along with our ag weather update. From 1 until 3, it's Chip Flory with AgriTalk. News and issues, not only farm news and issues, but also news and issues affecting the markets as well. He has a lot of the market analysts on as well during the 2 o'clock hour. From 3 to 4, it's America on Agriculture, news and issues affecting rural America. And we wrap up the day at 4:30 with Susan Littlefield and the Fontenelle Final Bell, where Susan wraps up the day in the markets with market analysts from across the country. You can listen to us on air, of course, at 1430 AM stereo and 107.3 FM. On our website at realcountry1430.com, through your Alexa device, Google Home, even a Roku. You can listen to us as well. So we invite you to join us Monday through Friday for farm news and markets throughout the entire day on WRDN. Our livestock auction is tomorrow. Many of these animals will be in the auction tomorrow. And our coverage of that will begin at We'll begin at 4:55 tomorrow afternoon. We have a few that are like, nope, I am done moving. I don't want to do this. Nope. And even trying to get the cattle start. And it's like my old Chevy. Just never wanted to start. Try to get it going. Yee, 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 yee. Well, there you go. There we go. Again, doing our championship drive here. We're getting late in the day, and so for some of the exhibits, some of the steers here, they're saying we're really done with this, and so it is getting. And it's been getting a little bit warmer here as well, a little more humid throughout the afternoon. So some of the exhibits are some of the steers are starting to get a little cranky. Here we go.
Folks, let's put our hands together for an outstanding set of market animals here today. Again, another, just like the female show, high quality set from end to end. You certainly have to appreciate that. And again, hats off to the breeders and exhibitors and the 4-H leaders for sending out such an incredible set of cattle. Again, folks, earlier I was telling you about, keep this a little bit short, and the only comments I'm going to, make are, yeah, we're all competing in here, and we're all, trying to win the show and everything. But at the end of the day, we have a lot to fight for. I mean, as we actually are all friends, and we have to all be in the same industry here. I mean, even this barn and the barn over there with the sheeps and the hogs. I mean, my God, they're approving synthetically made meat right now, or lab-grown meat. And folks, the same people that are telling us GMOs are bad are telling us that's good. So the whole thing is screwed up, and as an industry, we have to stick together and keep feeding America the way it should be done right here in production agriculture. So with that being said, again, with there's some personal preferences with as far as these cattle. You certainly want them at the ground, starting them sound and working up into some animals with some volume and capacity and some muscle and expression and volume, and you certainly want all those. And I'll go out and get you a top 5 here today. Congratulations to all the exhibitors. Again, nice set of cattle.
Champion Market Beef, shown by Evan Bartlett. Reserve champion, shown by John Reeby. Third place, Reagan Singerhouse. Fourth place, Kaylee Tiffany. And fifth, Abby Schlew.
There's your top 5 for the Market Beef. Now we go bred and owned market steer. Our
Next
final
up will
class.
be the bred and owned market steers.
This will be our final class for this afternoon. And then we will return tomorrow during the livestock auction with coverage beginning at 4:55. So our final class this afternoon. Well, when the railroads finally made it out to Texas, ranchers there were able to transport their cattle to market via the railroad. That, of course, mode of transportation was safer and much more efficient. You know, no cattle rustlers, anything other than wolves, that sort of thing. And as refrigeration became commonplace, refrigerated rail cars, yep, cattle were processed at the railhead town and then moved to cities for distribution, i.e. Chicago. Ah, yes. That's, you know, the Chicago stockyards. Beef cattle markets at the end of the cattle drive era began due to the high demand and high price of cattle. Like every market, cattle prices rise and fall. The last years of the cattle drive brought low prices for cattle ranchers. Low prices led to little or no profit and contributed to the end of the cattle drive era. Another contribution to the demise of the cattle drive was the outbreak of what was called then Texas fever. It was a deadly disease in cattle. It acquired its name because cattle from the east or origins other than Texas contracted the disease after mixing with cattle from Texas. Now, Texas cattle never contracted the disease, only other cattle from other parts of the United States. It was discovered the disease was caused by a protozoa that was transmitted by ticks, and the ticks were
In the
transmitted.
show ring for the bred and owned market steer division, we have Evan Bartlett with his single bred steer, Margot Moses with her single bred steer, Reagan Singerhouse with her single bred steer, Kinsey Singerhouse with her single bred steer, Reagan Singerhouse with a crossbred steer, Abby Schlew with her dairy steer, Jacob Schlew with his dairy steer, and Ray Pember with his single bred steer.
Again, though, with that Texas fever, Texas cattle ended up being quarantined, and that made it difficult for ranchers to continue trailing their cattle to market. Again, our final class, bred and owned market steer.
Again, congratulations to all these young people for breeding their own steers, and that again goes along with the whole project and the whole industry is raising your own and breeding them up and bringing them out here and everything. I'm going to keep this short and sweet, being that we've got 2 of the top 5 steers out here. Young lady with the crossbred steer that was 3rd overall, you're going to be the champion bred and owned. Young lady with the Holstein steer, you were 5th overall, you will be the reserve bred and owned steer. Congratulations to both of you.
So congratulations to Regan Singerhouse. She is the champion bred and owned market steer. And Abigail Schlew with is the reserve champion. So congratulations to both of them as we wrap up our coverage this afternoon from the Dunn County Fair with the beef show and the hog show from earlier today. We hope you enjoyed our coverage. We will return tomorrow afternoon, 4:55, for the livestock auction from the Dunn County Fair. Until then,